Today's stories include new images of Kingdom Hearts 4, GTA 6 delay affecting console sales, and more Death Stranding 2 news. We have all this and more because this is Kinda Funny Games Daily. Yo, what the heck is going on, everybody? Welcome to Kinda Funny Games Daily for Thursday, May 15th, 2025. I'm one of your show hosts, Snowbike Mike, and today I am joined by the incredible Stella Chung. Stella, how are you?
Good, thank you. You're so sweet. I'm good, feeling as good as you said your legs feel today. So I'm doing great.
Everything in my life feels good except for my voice. I can't seem to get it back, and that's also because I'm not resting, Stella. I just can't stop streaming and playing video games. It's my favorite thing to do.
Dude, you gotta take breaks. Burnout is real, man.
Yes. Stella, the games call me. You know, I'm playing Final Fantasy 13. I'm playing Final Fantasy 10-2, Hunt Showdown. I mean, Blue Prince is calling. There's too many games, Stella. I can't stop playing.
I know, and then Doom's out today. I get it. There's a lot. But I mean, yeah, keep on doing what you're doing. Just make sure you have enough coffee and sleep at least.
Get a spa night in, you know? Just take care of yourself.
Yeah, I will send you face masks so you're forced to like sit there with the mask on, but I'm gonna get you ones that look like the animal ones, so that looks like you have like a tiger on your face.
That's fun. Stella, come back up to San Francisco. Come hang out with me all the time. You know that. Now, to our audience out there watching live and of course on podcast services around the globe, you get a special Kinda Funny Games Daily today because the team here at Kinda Funny has asked me to go a little long. I'm going to give you a 90-minute episode today with Stella. So we're going to take our time. We're going to do a little bit of housekeeping. We're going to check in with Stella. What's the latest and greatest in her world? We're going to be able to spend a little more time on today's news stories, which means I need you to come in and get involved. We can have a big post-show super chat section where you can ask questions to Stella about what she's been doing in her life, what games she's been playing, our thoughts on any gaming topics you want to talk about, or you can dive a little bit deeper with us with your super chats on today's news stories because we got to go for 90 minutes. So please sit back, relax, enjoy a little bit longer one. So it's going to be a little bit slower. And so since we're taking it slow, Stella, how have you been? What has been the latest and greatest in your world?
Yeah, I mean, they called me onto the podcast because they really wanted me to do, they wanted us to do a longer session, which, the rest of the boys at Kinda Funny apparently can't last that long. So, it's okay. We all have our limitations. It sucks. But that's why I'm here. I am here to prolong your enjoyment of the podcast, to take it nice and slow, a little bit of foreplay, So, things have been good on my end, though, playing a lot of different games, Expedition 33, which is amazing, but also I have to take a lot of breaks from it because it makes me super sad. So I'm playing Baldur's Gate 3 with the patch 8. Let's see. And, South of Midnight, I got halfway through that, but then all these games started coming out and now Doom. So hopefully get to play a lot of Doom this weekend, finish it, and do a review next week.
That's wonderful, Stella. Stella is very busy. Of course, you're going to do a review. Stella, where would I find your review? Where are you putting your work lately? Where can people keep up with you?
Yeah, I mean, because Kinda Funny won't hire me, you can actually find me on youtube.com/ParallaxStella or on Twitch, which I've been doing a lot of like early morning, or not early morning, I say 10 a.m. as if it's early, but morning podcast streams and such. So yeah, that's where you can find me.
I love that. Yeah, I've been checking in on your Twitch channel all the time. I love seeing you go live. I love that you've been playing a bunch of video games, but you've also been talking video game news, which I really enjoy when you take some time and you dive right into the news. So it's very cool to check you out over there. So people, go check her out. Go have some fun in that awesome community she's building over there and get to listen to Stella and her thoughts on the gaming world. I love that.
Thank you. That's very sweet. Also, I saw someone in chat say, does Stella, Rev Cabot said, does Stella know Mike walked for a full weekend? The stamina, he doesn't count. Mike is obviously someone who can last a long time, okay? We're not talking about that. All right. Oh, God. Okay. Well,
okay, Mike,
I got to show the yams off. Got to let the people know.
I mean, well, now all of chat is just busted immediately. I mean, I don't know why. Dude, we were supposed to go for 90 minutes.
Oh, you're right. Got him.
That's, damn it.
Stella, yeah, we had a great weekend playing Death Stranding. I'm happy to announce to everybody out there that Roger has stitched together the whole weekend video. So all of the recordings will be one massive video put up on YouTube this Saturday. So keep an eye out. If you missed any of the Death Stranding fun with the big walkathon marathon stream, that will be going up. I loved the experience, Stella. I had so much fun with Roger and the community here. Kind of funny, laughing, celebrating, and most importantly, getting high off that Kojima joint. He's got another banger, and I can't wait for Death Stranding 2. Stella, have you played Death Stranding? Are you excited for 2?
It's not a game that I specifically want to play. I think it's not really my play style, but I do enjoy watching other people play. So when you guys were doing that, I was watching. It's one of those things like I can enjoy it through the enjoyment of others more than for myself.
Okay.
But I do have an important question. How bad did that room smell after the weekend?
You know what, Stella? I have a big rule in the stream room, and you've seen it before. I make everybody clean all the time. And, I didn't sweat too much. I would say it was at a 4 out of 10 stank level. 4 out of 10.
Mike, I would give you a 1 out of 10 stank level because you left the room open because I was the first one to come in after y'all had left whatever it was, like Sunday, late Sunday, early Monday morning or whatever it was. And there was no smell. And so you aired it out properly. And I was, because I was dreading going in and starting up the studio on Monday. So, yeah.
The biggest,
I don't blame you, dude.
The biggest stank was probably our Chili's and our Denny's order late at night. That got a little wild and weird.
Chili's?
Yeah, we decided to get some Chili's. We're crazy.
Chili's exists in the Bay Area. I don't think I've seen a single Chili's since I was.
Stella, it's the perfect date night for 2, but Chili's isn't paying me. We can't talk about it. We got to talk about video game news. Let's jump into it. Of course, this is Kind of Funny Games Daily. Each and every weekday, we run you through the nerdy video game news you need to know about live on YouTube, Twitch, and of course on podcast services around the globe. If you like what we do, consider supporting us with that Kind of Funny membership available on Patreon, on YouTube, and now on Spotify and Apple Podcasts to get all of our shows ad-free. Watch us as we record them live and get your daily exclusive show. For a chance to be part of the show, submit your thoughts and opinions as YouTube Super Chats as we go. You want to dive a little bit deeper into a video game news story? You want to share your thoughts and opinions about a game story? Or you want to ask questions to Stella, our incredible guest? Please write in with your YouTube Super Chats as we have an extra long show to get into today. Some housekeeping for you. We are an 11-person small business all about live talk shows. Today, after Kind of Funny Games Daily, you'll get a special embargoed Gamescast. And then after that, you'll get a special Kind of Funny podcast all about Greg Miller, as it will be the Greg Miller PAX East keynote special. So if you missed out on PAX East, if you didn't see Greg Miller's awesome keynote one-on-one with Ben Starr, now you get an opportunity to rewatch that. It was very, very good. Then, of course, today's stream is Andy and Nick ripping and tearing it up in Doom the Dark Ages on their 5090 with DLSS 4, thanks to NVIDIA. So keep an eye out for that sponsored stream at the end of the day. If you are a Kind of Funny member, today's Greg Ways 14 minutes of Roger talking about how the Death Stranding stream came to be and how we became friends again. And then not friends again.
And then torn apart.
And then friends again.
Wait, what did I miss?
It was so much, Stella. I blocked him because I was jealous. He was taking Blessing out to lunch and not me, so I blocked him. Then we became best friends again.
To be fair, that's because you don't respond to texts actually wanting to meet up, so I think that's kind of
Damn, even Stella knows that, dude.
Stella knows. Stella knows.
Bro, do you know the amount of times, every time I meet up with Mike, he's like, oh, man, how you been? We should hang out. Oh, let's go to the park. And, oh, yeah, it'll be great. And then silence. I miss you, Stella. I miss you. And so go listen to Roger talking about that. It was a great story. I really pushed on Roger behind the scenes about the Death Stranding stream. So I'm excited to hear what his thoughts are. Of course, thank you to our Patreon producers who help keep the lights and mics on. Carl Jacobs, Omega Buster, and Delaney Twining. We'll talk about our sponsors later. Shady Rays, Aura Frames, and Rocket Money. We'll tell you about them later. Let's jump in to what is and forever will be the Roper Report. It's time for some news. We have 7 news stories today.
A baker's dozen. God damn it. Why did it just the one fog machine?
Story.
It's fine. It's about we're doing the distance today.
We're going the distance, Stella. And guess what? Story number 1 is going to take us there, because if you want to talk video games, if you want crazy nonsense plots, you want super long, just exaggerated nonsense, it's all about Kingdom Hearts. Guess what? Story number 1, we have new screenshots of Kingdom Hearts 4. This coming from Sal Romano over at Gamatsu. Screenshots will be shown here. Quote, we're currently working on Kingdom Hearts 4 and will continue pouring ourselves into the game's development, Square Enix said in a message. We're dedicated to making this an experience that lives up to your expectations. The company continued, we've seen how excited you are, and we are truly grateful from the bottom of our hearts. We are equally excited and can't wait to share more about Kingdom Hearts 4 when the time is right. Until then, we appreciate your patience. Thank you for your continued support. Stella, new screenshots of Kingdom Hearts 4.
Mikey.
Does this get you excited? How are you feeling about Sora's new adventure?
If I can't play as Mickey and hear him say, "Huh, I'm going to bust a cap in your ass," then I don't want to play it.
Well, Stella, I will point you to the middle of this screenshot. Mickey is on top of some chandeliers, it looks like, maybe in some sort of library or beautiful home, and maybe he's playable, and maybe he will bust a cap in somebody's ass for you, Stella.
Maybe. I will say it looks gorgeous. I honestly have never been into Kingdom Hearts. Again, mostly because of the story. I think it's very cool that they've been able to mash so much stuff into it. I think it's really interesting. I remember being obsessed with the story, or like, what was the story, I guess? Because of, oh my God, Sora and Kairi, right? His love interest?
Yes. Sora,
yes,
Kairi, and Riku.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, oh my God, dude. I was in my like Zanga fan fiction era where I loved following the Final Fantasy romances and stuff. So that's what I was into it for. But they got really convoluted, and I was like, I don't get it. And I also had an ex who was like, this is my favorite game ever. You have to play this. And he sat me down and forced me to play it. And so it's kind of like when you're a kid and you get force fed something, you kind of don't like it. So that's kind of my experience with it. But I will gladly watch other people enjoy it.
Okay, I like that, Stella. Well, of course, I'm riding the high off of my Kingdom Hearts playthrough. I've played 1 and 2, watched all of Chain of Memories, and so I'm very excited about this. I still have yet to play 3, and I know there's a whole lot of other Kingdom Hearts games, but seeing this gets me excited, as I'm one of those fans who is very new to the franchise, and I kind of get to live the best life of, oh, there's a new game coming out soon, I put in quotes there, as like you get excited there. But, I mean, when I look at the screenshot, Stella, where's his big goofy shoes? Why does Sora have normal looking shoes on? But also, game looks good. The Heartless, or whatever, I mean, I have to assume those are the Heartless, look great. They look much scarier than the PS2 games that I've been playing back in the day here. I'm all in for this right now.
Hey, I might play that villain looking kind of hot. I'm just saying, I'll play it for him.
Stella, are you big into Disney and all the new worlds that they have? Are you excited? Do you have any dream worlds that you want them to go to?
I think they actually, they had Hercules, right?
Hercules is in there?
Yeah. Was Hades also in there?
Of course. Oh, yeah.
Yes. Okay, then I'm good. Yeah, then I'm good, because I love them so much. I love that world a lot.
Yes.
Wait, Lilo and Stitch, were they in that? Were they in that previously?
I don't know if we've seen.
I haven't seen Lilo and Stitch in my first 2 yet. So yeah, no, not so far.
I would love that. I would love that. Well, they were? Okay.
No.
Oh, Jesus says they were?
Oh.
Maybe number 3.
They're Birth by Sleep.
Huh. Oh, Birth by Sleep. Okay.
Okay.
Gotta remember, there's a lot of games here. And of course, just yesterday, I think we learned that they canceled one of the Kingdom Hearts games. Wasn't the mainline game. So now they're kind of...
It was like their equivalent to Pokemon Go for Kingdom Hearts.
Yes. Keeping us distracted with the good news of Kingdom Hearts 4.
That could have been cool. Stitch is a summon in Kingdom Hearts 2. Stop. Okay, I love that. I love Stitch so much. So if we can bring him back, that'd be great.
In a similar vein, it would be cool to see Moana.
I like that.
Yes.
Barrett. That's good. I'm excited. I wonder I mean, we've gone back to Halloween Town in the first 2 that I've played, so I assume that we will go back to, kind of those tried and true ones like Halloween Town, probably Hercules again on that one. But what are the new worlds? I'm very, very excited to see. And yeah, the screenshots look good. Stella, does this give you any excitement of maybe we can see this, or fans will get to see this at Summer Game Fest? Or does that line, when the time is right, kind of lead you to, hey, it's not time yet, don't expect us this summer?
I feel like it might be a bit soon, but it could be a good time for it. But it might be a bit soon. I don't know. I feel like Kingdom Hearts has such a big following. I feel like they could do whatever and release it, or like have teasers come after the summer, and I think it'd be totally fine.
Okay. Yeah, you have kind of your roadmap of the summer shows, right? We go from Summer Game Fest. We have, of course, Gamescom out in Europe. We have Tokyo Game Show. Then you end with the Game Awards. You have a long lead up there. So you have a couple of opportunities to show off the game if it's time and it's ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, I would say their best bet is to do something that, I don't know, because SGF is fine, but I don't feel like it's as big as the Game Awards or Gamescom with their live shows. So I feel like that might be a better time to showcase it, but that's just a personal opinion.
Well, we have some super chats all about Kingdom Hearts. So, of course, if you want to get involved, share your excitement for Kingdom Hearts. And also, what's up with that black phone, right? Why do they got a phone in the screenshots? What does this phone do? I need to know. Let me know. But Dear Sixlet writes in and says, being a Kingdom Hearts fan often feels like we can't get a win and are mocked. But even after a game cancellation, we finally got a win with some screenshots. Let's keep it going. Let's keep the journey going, Mikey. Seems like Kingdom Hearts fans are excited for just a little bit of news, Stella. So I'm sure once it's finally time, the world will be very happy to see more and more of this.
You know what? Kingdom Hearts fans, at least you're not as mistreated as Bloodborne fans, okay? I'll just say that. Wow. That and Titanfall fans, listen, you guys are eating good while we're starving over here in the trenches.
You brought up 2 good franchises, Stella, right there. Is there a franchise for you personally that is similar to Kingdom Hearts where you just want more and you have to sit there and wait and wait?
Both. Yeah, I just said both. Yes.
Both of those
Bloodborne
for you?
and Titanfall.
Mm-hmm. I love that. That's good. Yeah, those are good, Stella. We'll see if Titanfall ever comes back. That's a great game. And Bloodborne, just give us that remaster. Let's get it going right away.
Really quick, the chat, talking about worlds in Kingdom Hearts 4, Mikey, some of the fun with Kingdom Hearts is also some of the Final Fantasy characters. And chat was saying it would be fun to see Clive Rossfield in, or not Rossfield, Clive from 16,
from
voiced
16.
by Ben Starr. Where did I get Clive Rossfield? Is that a Resident Evil character?
I don't know. That sounds very close to his name.
Oh, no, that is his last name. All right, yeah. I got that. Cool.
Oh, dang, Barrett. That's a great call. Yeah, I guess I forget about the Final Fantasy connections. And yeah, it's pretty cool because they got the little fairies, which is Yuna, Riku, and Pain, YRP, my girls from Final Fantasy X10, which I love, or X2, which I love. You see Aerith in there, which is great. Cloud and Sephi from 7, which is great. Yeah, it would be very exciting to see what more could you have when it comes to Final Fantasy, and what crazy Organization 13 characters are they going to make up with insane names that I've never heard of before. It's going to be a great time. I'm really excited about it. Kebabs writes in and says, do you think Kingdom Hearts 4 is going realistic so it can visit Marvel and Star Wars properties?
Ooh.
Yes.
Good.
You think so?
I think that'd be really cool.
I mean, well, this trailer that I was playing earlier came out like 3 years ago, and like one of the early shots in here, I'm trying to find it. Yeah, this foresty area it very much gives Endor vibes from Return of the Jedi. That's cool. And if there's one shot I think where it kind of you see the ground and you see like possibly the foot of an AT-AT in that top right there. So yeah, I think that's very much the vibe. Yeah.
Barrett, you are
nerd.
You're going frame by frame on it. I love it.
I only know this because this trailer's been around forever, and like we've talked about this to death for years.
I love that, Barrett. Yeah, that's I mean, fair. Sure, if that's the way they want to go, I would be just fine with how Kingdom Hearts has always been in making Star Wars and Marvel more on the cartoony side, I guess, on the animated side, and just having them play in that kind of sandboxy world. I think we've seen plenty of kids shows in those Star Wars and Marvel universes that are animated and more, family friendly look than, hey, it has to be hyper realistic and different looking than that. But I love it either way. I'm excited if they can integrate both of those big properties into it. You would think they would with Disney and all the fun that they've had.
We have.
Go, Stella.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say we have Star Wars animated shows that could fit really well into it. I mean, like, what were the Clone Wars, right? Like that animation could totally fit into it, and I think that could be cool. And with Marvel, there's a lot that could be. I feel like it's really easy to fit them into like the cartoonish world. So it doesn't necessarily have to be realistic, but I guess it is kind of cool that they're giving us that HD experience if they're actually implementing all those worlds.
Mr. Hawkshart's in. We got some Kingdom Hearts fans now showing up. Says, I'm not sure if this is the new Sora or if it's just how Sora changes his look to blend into one world. Oh, okay. So Sora every time goes into a different world, different look, fun costumes. That's a great call, Mr. Hawks. Maybe we'll be bouncing around a little bit. I like that. Okay. Well, new screenshots for Kingdom Hearts 4. If you're a big fan of it, oh, shucks. You guys don't want to stop talking about it. All right, one sec. One more. Couple more super chats coming in. CJ writes in and says, Kingdom Hearts and Disney Channel original movies. Give me Troy Bolton and Goofy. You're wild, C. I love that, C.
Oh, my God,
George.
and you can participate and they get your head in the game. Please.
They could do it, like, think about it, like, Mikey, I don't know if you did in Kingdom Hearts 2, there's the Little Mermaid level, where that's just pretty much just like a mini game. Like,
just a big sing-along,
yeah, and so they could do that. Think about it.
That's a great one right there. I mean, Goofy, the Goofy movie would be fantastic. Troy Bolton, that's a pretty good pull right there. That's pretty funny. Well, I like that. It's Topher writes in as well and says, give me Kingdom Hearts versus Marvel Rivals. You're wild. You're wild right there.
How are they going to put all that ass into Kingdom Hearts? I don't think they're going to.
Aaron writes in, Aaron Lime says, we might see Jack from Strangers of Paradise in Kingdom Hearts 4. The Final Fantasy characters that show up are always ones Nomura designed originally. So there you go. Maybe you see, is that the guy who yelled kill chaos all the time, Barrett, right?
Which one? Sorry.
Jack from Stranger of Paradise. Yes. Yeah. He'll be hunting chaos. Peaceful Warhead writes in and says, have Sora and the crew fight on the Avengers Endgame battlefield against Thanos.
Fuck yeah.
That's crazy. That's
yes.
crazy. The Last Great Perhaps says, minor spoiler, but Kingdom Hearts 3 has a realistic Pirates of the Caribbean world. Okay. Well, when I get to that experience, I look forward to seeing that. Pirates of the Caribbean, for me on Kingdom Hearts 2, was, very different than what you saw in all the other worlds. So I could definitely see 3 moving that direction. I look forward to seeing that. Great little pull there for us. We'll see what happens in Kingdom Hearts 4. Of course, I will be crossing my fingers for a big announcement at Summer Games Fest or this summer because I want to play Kingdom Hearts 3 at the end of the year. So if I can keep riding that excitement, I'm all in on the fun for sure. Stella, let's keep the show going, but let's do it after a word from our sponsors, and we'll be right back with even more. We have another hour left, so don't go anywhere, y'all.
This episode is brought to you by Shady Rays. Get ready for the season ahead with quality shades built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered with premium, polarized sunglasses that won't break the bank. Shady Rays is an independent sunglasses company offering a world-class product rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. Their shades have durable frames and crystal clear optics, making them the perfect choice for all outdoor adventures. They have hundreds of options to choose from, so you're bound to find the perfect pair to match your style. Take it from Tim Geddes, who rocks his Shady Rays every day going on Pokemon Go walks, out and about SF looking dope. If you don't love your shades, exchange for a new pair or return worry-free within 30 days. There's no risk when you shop. Their team always has your back with personal and fast support. Exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays Rays is giving out their best deal. Head to ShadyRays.com and use code FUNNY for 35% off polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. That's ShadyRays.com, promo code FUNNY. This episode is brought to you by Aura Frames. Every day we're taking photos from big events to silly moments, but doesn't it sometimes feel like all of your favorite photos are just stuck on your camera roll? Wouldn't it be great to have an easy way to share and enjoy them with friends and family? That's where Aura comes in. Aura makes it effortless to upload unlimited photos and videos directly from your phone, so your favorite memories are always within view. Plus, you can personalize and preload an Aura frame for a unique and special gift. We love Aura frames in this office. Roger has one at home he got for his fiance's birthday, and she absolutely loves it. It takes about 2 minutes to set up the frame using the Aura app. Add unlimited photos and videos and invite as many people as you want to an Aura frame. There are absolutely no hidden fees or subscriptions, and for a limited time, listeners can save on the perfect gift by going to auraframes.com to get $20 off plus free shipping on their best-selling Carver Mat frame. That's AURA frames.com, promo code AURA20. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply. This episode's brought to you by Rocket Money. With prices going up on just about everything lately, being smart with your money isn't just a good idea, it's essential. But managing subscriptions, tracking spending, and cutting costs can feel overwhelming. Lucky for you, Rocket Money takes the guesswork out of it so you can easily make smart decisions. Rocket Money has helped multiple members of Kind of Funny learn they were still paying for things they totally didn't even realize. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Rocket Money's dashboard gives you a clear view of your expenses across all of your accounts. And then you get alerts if bills increase in price, there's unusual spending activity, or if you're close to going over budget. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year while using the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/kindafunny today. That's rocketmoney.com/kindafunny. rocketmoney.com/kindafunny.
Story number 2, Stella. GTA 6 delay could mean 700,000 fewer Xbox and PlayStation console sales this year. Coming from Christopher Dring at Game Business. A leading industry data firm has reduced its 2025 sales estimates for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series S and X by 700,000 units following the delay of Grand Theft Auto 6. Ampere Analysis has also lowered its forecast for PlayStation and Xbox game sales down by 21 million units. Overall, Ampere believes the console market will miss out on $2.7 billion in revenue this year due to GTA 6 delay. Of course, much of this will simply move to 2026 as the game is now scheduled for launch on May 26th next year. Quote, "The drop is quite significant," says Ampere Analysis Piers Harding Rolls. "You would expect people to spend on other things instead, but that kind of transfer will not be entirely there. Entirely. There will be significant impact." Harding Rolls believes that the GTA 6 delay would boost to Nintendo Switch 2 this Christmas. In our consumer data, Switch is often seen as the second device for owners of PlayStation 5. The overlap is quite significant, he adds. They are in the same competitive sphere, even if the content is not exactly the same. Ampere now anticipates growth for the video game industry in 2025 of just 0.9%, but it will improve with a 2.2 increase over 2026. In the reports, Ampere believes general inflation plus hyper competition will result in slow growth compared to pre-2019. And the companies will continue to focus on efficiency, being selective with games they sign and profit margins. Stella, big number, 700,000 units predicted for the big sale of GTA 6 this year. Now going to be off this year's books, on to next year. What do you think about that? Of course, GTA seems to be the big selling point for a lot of people.
This just in, Mike, crazy news that this hyper popular very modern game is going to just tank sales because it's not coming out this year. And oh my God, gamers want to save their money because gaming is expensive right now and they want to save it till next year. Shocking news. Shocking. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I mean, I don't know. This is about par for the course. I think it makes sense. People might be holding out if they don't have a console ready to play this on. They're probably holding out to see if there's going to be a bundle and potentially save. Like a lot of people are buying, Switch 2 with the Mario Kart bundle as well. Yes. Kind of saves money on that. So I don't know. This definitely makes sense. I feel like this is, I don't know, as a consumer, I don't know, maybe we're the more educated consumer who understands that, yeah, this is probably going to happen.
Stella, you're right on the money. Of course, yes. This is to be expected, is right? Your predictions of sales and charts are definitely going to be thrown off when GTA and Rockstar finally say, hey, we're not coming out this year like we thought we were. We're going to be next year. Everything has changed now, of course. It's interesting, Stella. That's a huge number. I guess I'm kind of blown away by that number of 700,000 new consoles will be sold off of just GTA 6 alone, or that's the thought process there. Is pretty wild to think, but you think of upgrades. People are finally ready to get that new PS5, maybe get the PS5 Pro to go along with their systems. It's an exciting thing to think about how impactful GTA 6 really is, but that is a massive number of console sales to just be tied to this game franchise.
I don't think it's that crazy, honestly, because GTA is one of those titles that is extended outside of just the gaming community, right? Like you talk to celebrities, you talk to I don't know, like sports players, like basketball players, football players. They all know what GTA is. GTA is such a casual experience for people who don't even identify as gamers. So I feel like, of course, this makes a lot of sense. A lot of the casual consumers want to buy a console that can play this game. Most of them don't want to wait a whole year or however long it's going to be to get GTA 6 on a PC, unfortunately. So even for me, I will definitely have to buy it twice because I'll buy it once on a console and then I'll buy it another time on a PC. It's just this like global experience that people don't want to miss out on. So I feel like, yes, the number is actually kind of crazy to see, like all at once. But if you look at, GTA 5 has sold over 210 million copies since its 2013 release and has still gotten content out and still makes money to this day. So I feel like, yeah, it makes sense. It's shocking to see that number. I'm sure for, PlayStation and Xbox developers and like their company, it's like, damn, we're missing out on these sales. But you'll make it all back next year. Don't worry.
Yeah, well said, Stella. Barrett, what do you got?
Yeah, my wonder, but just something that went through my head is like roughly 700,000 units less sold consoles this year because of the lack of GTA 6. I do wonder if that number is actually made up next year. By the time we get to next year and prices are going up and up and up for consoles. Like you mentioned the PS5 Pro. I don't know if anybody's going to be getting a PS5 Pro if that gets a price hike in the United States of America. That thing is expensive as fuck already. And so I do wonder if that actually levels out next year in terms of where the economy is at, where people's, how much money people actually have in their pockets next year by the time GTA actually comes out. That'll be something to keep in mind.
Yeah, I think that's true for sure, Barrett. It will be very interesting to see who jumps on these consoles now before they get that price hike. Where are we next year with all of this price increase? Where does it settle in? And also, it's GTA 6. People are going to go wild for this one, right? So they're going to save up all their money. They're going to work extra hard for this one and try to get involved in it. But yeah, 700,000 consoles, wild, Stella, as well. Because I also think of this generation, this generation's been very interesting, right? It's been around for quite some time, but we had the COVID years where it was harder to get a hold of it. Then we had kind of everybody working from home. Everybody was gaming. So this generation feels like it went on for a long time, but it didn't go on for a long time. And I question who doesn't have a console by now that wouldn't be in there. But like you said, there's a large casual audience that is going to go wild for Grand Theft Auto and jump right on and get any console they can to be able to play this that first year.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. The console generation started in the pandemic, but I feel like the first 2-3 years don't really count just because I personally feel like this generation, for those first 2 years, developers weren't ready to move on to this next generation of hardware because they had to try and configure all their games to this new hardware. And a lot of games were still being made for the previous console. And a lot of people were okay with just holding on to that. And that's fine. But it took 2 years for developers to really get used to the hardware and what the power could provide for their games. And also, that's when a lot of consumers were actually able to buy those consoles because of all the people buying everything out, scalpers, and also not being able to afford it. And also the fact that all the games were coming out on the Xbox One and PS4 anyways. So I feel like this console generation has really just started. I want to say maybe like 2023 is when it really started popping off. So I feel like that is the actual start of the console generation. So it feels like it's gone on for a lot longer than it has, but now the content is really rolling in. So now I feel like it's at its height.
Stella, when do you think we'll see this start of the next generation? You talk about kind of being at its height, and really, this does feel like, hey, we're in the prime of this console, right? And it feels like we got a good runway still to go, but I think that maybe it's not as long as I think it is, Stella. When do you really think we'll start seeing that next conversation?
I hope not for another couple of years, because I feel like we're just now settling into this generation. Everyone's getting used to the tech. They're getting used to the pricing. First of all, I don't think people are going to want another console that's going to be even more expensive. But I feel like at this point, we're reaching a point in hardware where it's kind of harder to find the next step that's not going to be absurdly expensive. I mean, look at the 50 series, right? Like I have the 40 series GPU in my PC, and I'm like, okay, I don't need to upgrade until maybe the 60 series. We'll see. So it's like a lot of people are getting they're trying to save a lot of money. Everything's so much more expensive now. So I feel like it would be a really stupid move to announce another console, which not to hate on the PS5 Pro, but like, I mean, I wasn't one of those people that was like, I have to have this. And I know there's going to be that elite bunch that are like, oh my God, I need to have the PS5 Pro to play GTA 6 in all its glory. But I'm like, dude, as long as I have the game and I can play it, I'm fine. Like, I think that's generally where most of the casual audience is. So I genuinely hope we don't talk about another console for a while, especially since Xbox has that new campaign of you can play Xbox anywhere. You don't even need the Xbox, which is great. Gives people a lot of different economical options to game on.
Stella, I'm excited to see where we go in the future. How long is this runway? I'm feeling really good with my Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5. I'm not quite ready to end that life cycle yet. I don't really want the next announcement, but we'll see where we go. What I am excited for, Stella, you and I playing some Grand Theft Auto 6, and I cannot wait for next May. I'm very excited. It was hard to hear the delay because I wanted it so badly, but May. We got 12 months from now. We'll be back right to it. It'll be very, very exciting stuff. Do you think we see anything around Summer Game Fest, or that past trailer is all we get for the summer season with Grand Theft Auto?
Honestly, I'm totally fine if they don't. Okay. I feel like that trailer at the announcement of the delay was probably great for them to have. I would say maybe something more towards like Game Awards, right? Because then that's a little bit more around the corner from seeing the game at May. But also, if they don't release anything else, I'm so okay with that, because at this point, I think a lot of people just want to see the game when it's ready, right? So getting that trailer a year away, people were like, oh, it looks great, but also, damn, we could have had that this year. It makes people feel a little bit more upset about the fact that it's not coming out soon. So I feel like if there's more reveal stuff that comes out in December or even January, I feel like that's a little bit better than if they decided to do that in the summer.
Yeah, the next big beat will be this is the world of GTA 6, and it'll run you through all of the cool gameplay stuff like they did with GTA 5 and all that stuff. And I think Stella's on the money of like December, January for that kind of thing. Yep.
Well,
Bear
of course.
Gold star.
Bear, give you a gold star for Bear from Stella today. Of course, audience out there, don't forget, if you're watching live on YouTube and on Twitch, you have an extended Kind of Funny Games Daily. So we're taking it nice and slow today because we're going till 11:30. So we still have a whole hour to go. So I'm going to stop really quick and read 2 quick super chats. We have a birthday to say happy birthday to. Steak Sticks Animation. Paying my birthday tax. Love you, Mike. Can't wait to watch you stream Kingdom Hearts 4 when it comes out in 15 years. Happy birthday, my friend. From me and the Kind of Funny crew. Thank you for your super chat. And I hope that I'm playing Kingdom Hearts 4 in 15 years with you, buddy. Thank you so much for the love. Stella, let's go to the next story. Story number 3 and 4 are all about Death Stranding 2. Death Stranding 2's scoring well with test reviewers, but Kojima isn't satisfied. This coming from Darren Bonthas at GameSpot. Death Stranding was a polarizing game when it first released, but for the upcoming sequel, previews and early reviews for the game have largely been positive. In a recent interview with game director Hideo Kojima, explained how he was happy to see test audiences react more favorably to Death Stranding 2 on the beach, but he also explained how this had left him feeling conflicted. Quote, Sony is pleased, of course, but I do wish I was a bit more controversial, Kojima said to Edge magazine via VGC. Blockbuster films need an 80% approval rating. I don't want to make games like that. I'm not interested in appealing to a mass market or selling millions of copies. That's not what I'm aiming for, end quote. Kojima did acknowledge the paradox of this approach, as while he may not be aiming to appeal to a broader gaming market, Death Stranding 2 still needs to sell a sizable number of units if he wants to keep the lights on at Kojima Productions and pay his developers and pay his staff. The other benefit of reviews being divided over a game is that it allows developers like Kojima to receive constructive criticism and implement improvements both in the base game and potential sequel. At this time, Kojima says that he won't alter themes or story based on feedback from players. We get positive reviews. Everybody's excited for the game. Kojima says, no, that's not what I want.
I want to be Darren Aronofsky.
I want to be different. Stella, yeah, I mean, what's going on here?
Honestly, I totally get it. He's an artist at heart, right? So as an artist, you're just like, I don't want to be one of those, like, I don't want to be a Banksy where everything gets taken. Like everyone likes it. They get it. Oh, I totally understand it. And I think he understands that in the gaming environment we are in right now, controversy fucking sells. That's why you see a lot of people being grifters one way or another, because they're just like, oh man, controversy really brings in the money. Also, it brings more eyes to something that most people would not have looked at. If you talk about it, I get it. It's kind of that sort of he's doing that psychology thing of like, oh, if something's really weird or people don't really vibe with it, they're more inclined to look at it, right? As opposed to a game that gets like, oh, this is a 10 out of 10. You have to play it. And it's like, is it really? Is it really? You know, and people might avoid it for a little bit. It's a weird sort of mental game, but I do understand, probably because Death Stranding 1 was so controversial, just in terms of like, what is this, a walking simulator? And then people kind of grew into the environment. They grew to love it, which I feel like he should have probably expected to happen, especially since it is a direct sequel to the game that so many people ended up loving.
Of course.
But I totally get it, because Kojima is a weird guy. He wants weird art, more weird stuff. And he probably just wanted this to be for the weirdos, but now the general public likes it, you know?
Yeah, when you make a good to great game, Stella, people are going to love it and be excited for the next one. And it sounds like this one's even better than the first. And so I think that's how people are looking at this one. It's interesting. I remember before Death Stranding 1 came out, Kojima had like some sort of crazy quote of like, Americans won't understand this game. They don't get high art or something like that. And it always stuck with me and I laughed. And yeah, I think that's what he's going for, is right, Stella. Something out of the ordinary, something to get people talking and have this conversation of, I don't understand this, or I don't like this. And the more talk, the better. And of course, also how to improve, right? You want that constructive criticism to get better each and every time. But it's a sequel, it's a follow-up. We kind of know what to expect and we know what we want out of it. But it is exciting to see so many people talk positively about this from all the big previews that we've seen. Blessing went out to Kojima Productions. He came back and can't stop talking about this game. He can't stop thinking about this game. So it's exciting. And the wild part is we don't have to wait long, Stella. This game is coming out in June. We are a month away from playing Death Stranding 2 and seeing what Kojima and his team have created for this follow-up sequel.
You know, if Kojima just leaned in full Tarantino, it just did more feet, I think he would get that lower score that he wants.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna say.
It depends on who's reviewing it, Stella. Like, more feet could get him higher.
Yeah, you're right.
Scores,
if Blessing's reviewing it, he'll definitely give it a higher score. Well, he'll give it a 10 toes out of 10 toes score.
That's good.
You know what I mean?
Well, now Blessing didn't like the hands.
He wants to sniff those little
Elden
piggies.
Ring. Yeah,
hand creatures freak him out.
Yeah, so the hand creatures freaked out Blessing and Elden Ring.
Maybe feet creatures. Who knows?
Toes are different from. Listen, I get it. Toes are shorter than fingers, so maybe that's what it is. He's just not used to long things. I get it. Poor guy.
Yeah, it's a wild one. Kojima, like you said, Stella, you said so well, he's an artist, right? And I think he wants that kind of conversation around the things he makes, and he wants to create things that get people thinking. And Death Stranding is already a game that gets people thinking and gets them out of their comfort zone. Like the walking simulator, yeah, I get it on the gameplay side, but when you watch the story and you really think about what's going on and all the conversation he's having, it's pretty wild and out there. And especially what we just went through with COVID and lockdown and now where we are today, there's a lot going on here that somehow Kojima is always on the pulse of and has something to say, even if maybe he doesn't think this is going to happen or he's on it, but somehow he's talking about us not being connected, but being overly connected. It's exciting stuff, Stella. I really loved Death Stranding with Roger this past weekend.
Was that your first introduction to the game? Like, had you played it before?
No, I had played it before. I never gave it a bunch of time. I probably played a couple hours of it and then put it down. Stella, as you said, the walking sim for me was never my cup of tea gameplay-wise, but I think if you get past the first initial hours, which is kind of heavy on the tutorial, it is much more walking and slower. Once you get past that, there's a lot more to do, and you kind of start really getting the movement going of there is a gun in that game, right? Like early on, you don't see the gun. You don't get to have those moments. And yeah, once you unlock the bolo gun, you're out there fighting other, mules, and of course Troy Baker and his crew. There's a lot happening in this game that you don't see in that initial beginning. So I think a lot of people were probably like me of, I'm good, I wanted that action, that stealth espionage that Kojima's known for. I'm out. But if you stayed a little bit longer, I think you would have gotten a pretty good time out of that one.
Ugh, I hated that we saw that last scene where they're smooching and their noses like bend together. They're smooching so close. It goes like, great. You did such a good job of making the graphics look real that I don't know why that specific gross. No,
yeah. Does the kissing still gross you out, or what about the tentacle coming out of Troy Baker's mouth?
Usually I'm into tentacles, but for some reason that one just looks real painful.
Okay. I haven't seen that one yet. I might have blacked that one out of my mind right there.
Probably, yeah.
Stella,
honestly,
for the follow-up, are you jumping into this? Where are you? You have so many games. There's so much going on. Is this a must-play for you in June? Will you hold off? Will you ever get to this one? Where are you at on this?
I think I will give this one a try. I will wait until people say, hey, you need to play the first one to understand this one or whatever. I don't think you need to, because I feel like they're both very weird experiences. So maybe you'll get more out of 2 if you just get into it. We'll see. I am more interested in this one, which I guess, Kojima's whole thing of like, oh, we're getting the normies in on this. It's working because I guess I'm getting into it.
Stella's into it. She's gotcha. Well, Kojima is going to get a lot of people into it because guess what? He's going on tour. Stella, story number 4, Death Stranding 2, is getting a concert world tour. This coming from Chris Scullion at VGC. The tweet, look at how badass this is. Death Stranding World Strand Tour 2 will kick off in Los Angeles on June 8th during Summer Game Fest and will travel across the world before ending in Lucca in Italy in November. The game itself will be released on PS5 on June 26th, meaning most of the dates in the tour will take place when the game is already out. The full list of locations all around the globe, you can look them up right now. According to Kojima Productions, additional details about each stop on the tour will be revealed later. Each stop will feature special guests and events, but is not yet confirmed exactly what it will entail, or whether the list of guests will be the same at every location, including Hideo Kojima himself. So first stop, LA, Summer Game Fest weekend. Big celebrities, maybe Norman Reedus, maybe you pull out all the stops, get everybody for this one. Troy Baker, you would assume, would be there. But Stella, have you ever seen a video game go on a world tour like this before?
I can't say that I have. I mean, we do have those like orchestra performances that do travel, but not as extensively as this, and not something that's so pointedly advertising this game that's not even out yet.
Yeah.
As chat says, it is very surprising that they don't have New York on here. Anything for the East Coast people, which kind of sucks. I honestly feel like a Boston concert could have done really well here, especially since it's on the coast. I will say the order in which they're going to all of these different cities is really unintuitive. Like, you are burning jet fuel, dude. What the fuck?
Stella, you are zigzagging around the globe.
Yeah, going from, you go Tokyo, Paris, London, and then Seoul?
Yeah, you go.
What?
Dude, you could do Tokyo, Seoul, Taipei, Hong Kong, Shanghai. What?
Yeah. It's pretty wild. I'm sure they're teaming them up with certain dates and maybe events, but I think I'm not wrong on this. I think they did this for Death Stranding 1 as well. They did the world tour, the big marketing buzz of going all around, but exciting to see it number 2. But yeah, the plot on this, USA to Australia, then Japan, then France and the UK, South Korea, Taiwan, Hong Kong, China, Saudi Arabia, Brazil, and Italy to finish it all off in November. It's going to be a wild little fun world tour for Kojima Productions over there. Stella, exciting stuff. Would you go to this in LA? Because you're down in LA.
I think so, just because it's close. Well, okay, first of all, it depends on how much it costs. Depending on how much it costs. Because dude, oh my God, I wanted to see Beyonce, who was here. I wanted to see Kendrick, who was here. But they're also, it was $400 for nosebleeds with partially obstructed view. So it depends on how much it costs. Because depending on that, then I'll make my decision.
Okay. I like that, Stella. Well, keep an eye out. Maybe you'll get the invite. Maybe you'll be there. You can tell us all about the experience. Because yeah, I would love to know what this looks like. What kind of fun experience do you get? Of course, is it a concert? Is it just Kojima up on stage with some celebrities? It's probably a full day event of fun, I'm sure. You'll probably be playing the game as well. So it should be really, really cool. So hopefully some audience members out there will go to it and let us know all about it. Stella, let's talk about story number 5. Helldivers 2, of course, had a big update this week. Did you jump in at all, Stella?
Oh, yeah. And I got my ass kicked.
Good. What did you think about the new stuff added? Are you excited to protect Super Earth and even more?
My God, I'm so excited. I love the way Helldivers does their live service, right? It doesn't feel live servicey. It feels like an organic world that is actually adapting to the intergalactic war that is actively happening in the universe. Granted, yes, some things were moving a little bit slower when they had the Meridia, the black hole that was moving, and people were like, when's something gonna happen? And it's like, okay, well, it's still a game that is being worked on in real time by people. They got to solve a lot of things, but it's really cool to see this world adapt. And for the longest time, I was like, man, I really want to know what Super Earth looks like. We got all of these cityscape maps now that we can drop into.
Yes.
But now we're going to Super Earth. And I love the way, God, you got to love writers and story writers, even if it's like through environmental storytelling, because in all of their little decrees and stuff they put in so much of lore. And then at the end, it says, battle on Super Earth will be inevitable. And you're just like, oh my God, that's a bar. That's fucking hard. Like, yeah, I'm going to defend my fucking cats on Super Earth. Yeah, you're damn right. I'm going back home to fight. It's really cool. So I'm really excited. I love any update they bring. I will say the new War Bond is a little weak, but I get it's for the memes. So, and it's optional. So you don't have to have the War Bond to enjoy it. So
I love that. How about the new enemies? There's the crazy ships that are bombarding you from up above. And then you have the crazy meat boss, whatever you want to call that Frankenstein monster. What the heck is that, Stella?
I know they have an official name, but I keep calling them meatballs. And they also look like the big mutants from the forest. But yeah, no. Okay. They can suck my dick. The ships are really cool though. It's really cool when you so when you're in your ship above a planet that's being currently overtaken by these ships coming in, you can see the ships floating above the airspace. It's really cool. And you can also when you start the new thing, you get this little animation of seeing all the ships coming in. It's like battleships. It's really, really fucking cool. But yeah, the new enemies suck. Oh my God, they're so fucking difficult. But that's also because I play on Super Helldive. So, I mean, that's partially on me, but also, I mean, I ain't a bitch, so.
Play how you want to play, but if you're playing with Stella, you better lock in on the difficult levels.
Yes!
Right there. It's right.
Oh my God, bro. Yep. Mm-hmm. I don't even get me started on the randoms that jump into my game.
Well, let's talk about story number 5, because Helldivers 2 is our main focus and will be for a long time. Arrowhead boss insists as long as you keep playing and buying super credits, as we can keep it going. This coming from Wesley Yinpool at IGN. Helldivers 2 developers Arrowhead has addressed players' concern that it might leave the game behind to focus on its next project, dubbed Game 6. As spotted by VGC 24/7, CEO Shams Georgiani spoke to fans in the official Helldivers Discord following the explosive launch of the full-scale Illuminate invasion this week. Quote, "The wonderful thing is that thanks to the amazing support of you, fine people, Arrowhead's future is quite bright, and we have the freedom to explore some really cool concepts that we couldn't have otherwise. Game 6, our next project, will happen the way it will happen thanks to you," Georgiani said. The seemingly the quote sparked some concern from one fan who said it suggested that Arrowhead was, quote, already abandoning a good chunk of dev time and money from Helldivers 2, end quote. Georgiani quickly shut that down, insisting, quote, "Nah, it's all Helldivers 2 for now. A very, very small team will spin up something later this year and go at it slowly. Helldivers 2 is our main focus and will be for a long time." Stella, what do you think about that? Are they going to step away from Helldivers 2 to focus on their next game and not give the players content?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Of course not.
I blanked out, sorry.
The exciting stuff about this is thanks to the massive success that Helldivers 2 was, the awesome community that they have, clearly the microtransactions that are working for them and all the sales that they're putting in has now allowed this team to really flourish and be able to start building their next big project while also still working on Helldivers 2, which is pretty wild to think about when you think of Arrowhead, Stella, the smaller team, from Helldivers 1 to now Helldivers 2, how big it's gotten and the ability for them to probably have a much larger staff and be able to do a new project in the works, starting from the ground up, and still, support Helldivers 2. But to this person, I don't think Helldivers 2 is going anywhere anytime soon.
No. Definitely not. And I constantly praise Helldivers for the way that they do their live service, because it doesn't feel like live service. A lot of the premium currency you can get in game just from hours and hours of playing. Obviously, it is very much easier to just buy it, which, hey man, sometimes I do because I don't mind supporting Arrowhead. I know they had a big backlash from the whole Sony account thing, but they did make it back, which was huge. I mean, you usually don't see companies and games come back from that. So seeing them flourish even despite that is great. And of course, why would they move on from Helldivers 2, right? Like, okay, it's not a direct comparison, but like, why would EA move on from doing Apex when Apex brings in so much money and is their flagship shooter, right? That's why there's not been a lot of focus on Titanfall games, because Apex is doing really well. Same with Arrowhead. Helldivers 2 is doing really well. And a lot of Helldivers 2 players have actually been interested in going back to Helldivers 1 to see how it feels. And because sometimes they like the top-down view. It's a different kind of game, and it's really cool. So it's brought in a lot more interest to the Helldivers universe, I think. So yeah, why would they move on right now? Everything's great. And I think it says a lot to their economic success to see that they can say specifically a smaller team, which is probably like a group of like 10 or something, is going to branch off and potentially make a new game. Like, that's so cool to hear that a studio is doing it. That, I don't know. I really hope that continue to be successful and continue to build the projects that they want, because they nail it, man.
100%, Stella. Yeah, I think this should be chalked up as a massive win, and it will be looked at that for the future. Helldivers 2, still big, right, Stella? There's still a bunch of people playing it. You get the big DLC coming out of the big update right now, and I don't see, in a world where we see Helldivers 2 slow down in the next year to 2 years, I think you got a good lifespan on this game where they know that they are making money off the microtransactions. They found a good, economy in that. Like you said, there's no reason to slow that down, especially because that's going to fund your next project and beyond. But the ability now to say, hey, we've been so successful that we can have other people start working on a different project while we still feed the beast that is Helldivers 2 is probably an awesome accomplishment for this team. I don't think they ever would have thought they would probably be here with this. So really well done for them. And of course, yes, we're on a Discord AMA. Somebody types that in. Now it gets the fans all riled up and worried. So I'm glad that the CEO was quick to say, hey, we're going to be here for a long time. We're not going anywhere. Everybody can relax and enjoy the game so far. Do you worry, Stella, that it will slow down, though, as, you know, a lapsed player like myself? Are they doing enough to get the casual audience back in? Is something like this new update enough to continue to keep the waves going up and down? You know live service games so well. You know what it takes to keep an audience engaged, keep people spending money, but most importantly, bring lapsed players or old players or new players back in all the time. How do you keep that ebb and flow going?
I think it does well with bringing in previous players just because of the different updates, especially with massive ones like, hey, we're going to Super Earth. Like, we have not seen that since this game launched. So I feel like it's good at bringing in previous players. I will say, I think where it does struggle is potentially bringing in new players just because people are like, oh, well, I have to buy this game. And again, a lot of people are being stingy or not stingy. I'm sorry. They're trying to be frugal and save money where they can, right? So it's like, I don't know if I'm going to like this game. Maybe it is more live servicey. I don't know. So I don't blame new players for not trying it, especially since it's been a while since it launched and people are like, will I be behind on things? Well, generally no, right? But I think that's something that the casual audience doesn't realize, that it's never a bad time to join into Helldivers because it's very good for new players, older players. It's just the fact that you might not be caught up on the story, which, I mean, you don't really need to be to enjoy it. So I do think that it struggles a little bit with bringing in new players, but I think in terms of bringing back previous players, it does a great job of that.
Okay. You and I are in the room. We're with the team. What's next for Helldivers 2? Stella, what do you want as a Helldivers player? What do you want to see next? How does it keep you engaged?
I don't know. I'll leave that to the Helldivers 1 community because they are really good at speculating certain things that happen in Helldivers 1 and seeing that in Helldivers 2. But they're also really good at not spoiling things for new Helldivers enthusiasts, which I really like. So I will say the one thing that I have noticed is that on certain planets, especially with the bugs, I believe, there are huge, like rib cages that are just laying on the floor. And like, you're just like, oh my God, what creature left this skeleton? And I would love to see that. Oh, actually, this is sort of like a fantastical thing from me, but I would love to see like a Dune and Helldivers crossover. Because I feel like, you know, sandworms could totally work, right?
Dang, Stella, that's a great poll right there, Stella. I like that a lot there. Okay. I love that. We have a super chatter coming in right now. Blarkley writes in and says, I'm a lapsed player who has moved over to PC since the game released. Just bought it again on Steam, and I'm loving it. So jumped over to PC, playing some more, having some fun. That's great. Heck yeah. I mean, very exciting stuff. Doesn't seem like it's going away for a long time. Stella, I love your idea of collaborating with big IPs like Dune and putting in fun monsters like that. You talk about the cityscapes. I want to see more of that, Stella. I'm a big EDF fan, Earth Defense Force. And I love the big destructible environments. I love the cityscapes. And so, yeah, when we started seeing that in Helldivers 2 with one of the more recent updates, and you started to see the buildings and the little towns. I want more of that in a big city, and maybe Super Earth with a downtown would be really, really awesome, Stella. That would be amazing.
I know. I'm so excited. I hope they make the environment. I'm sure the environment will look much different than it does on like the Illuminate planets, but with the cityscapes, I hope they do change it so that, you know, get like front lawns, like where the intro video is shot with like the pretty green lawns, you know, the little flamingos, the barbecue pits. I want to be stomping all over that in the name of democracy, of course.
In the name of democracy. Stella, let's keep it moving. Let's go to story number 6. EA pushes full return to office, effectively ends remote hiring. This coming from Rebecca Valentine at IGN. Electronic Arts has announced to employees that it will be ending its remote working policies permanently and implementing a full return to office. In an email sent to employees today, viewed by IGN, CEO Andrew Wilson said that in-person work results in, quote, a kinetic energy that fuels creativity, innovation, and connection, often resulting in unexpected breakthroughs that lead to incredible experiences for our players, end quote. He then went on to broadly outline that hybrid work would now be defined as minimum of 3 days a week in your local office and that offsite local roles would be gradually phased out.
Okay.
Stella, they're bringing everybody back. Let's talk about that, of course. Work from home era. People have found success with this hybrid workspace. People have found success being able to hire incredible talent all around the globe. I thought we celebrated that in the games industry these past couple of years, of the idea of you can get talent now from everywhere, not ask them to move from across the globe or not be able to get those talented people because they won't be able to move. Now we're saying you got to come back to the campus. How do you feel about that?
I mean, this is just a poorly masked mass firing, essentially. They already laid off like 200 people in April. And I mean, they actually had one recently as well, where at Respawn, they fired the writer of The New Legend, who just came out like 2 weeks ago, right before they announced his launch. So this is always a company's attempt at pushing people out so they can save money. They don't actually give a shit if you return to the office. They just want to save money and they just want to have an excuse to let people go. The fact that they said they were slowly phasing out remote jobs is kind of crazy to me, that they were just so open about it, but I guess it is EA, so who knows, maybe they're just shameless about it now. But it's actually really funny because a certain outlet that I was at before also tried to do a return to office within, I think, like so many miles in LA, but it was like also right after the LA fires, and everyone was like, no. So yeah, I think there's a lot of companies trying to do that right now, and it's just a shitty way of saying like, hey, if you don't come here, like we're just gonna fire you or let you go.
Another aspect of it as well on top of that, because yes, that, and it's a way for micromanaging and for control in office. Like, yes, there is the, corporate speak of, there's just there's a vibe and creative energy that we experience that can only be created in person. All right, dude, sorry that's the only way that you can get your creative mind going. But also it feels like a way to make sure that people are constantly working all the time and never stop.
Okay, so I see Jug Almighty saying, sounds to me that people just got spoiled with this work from home stuff and now feel entitled to it. That feels like a bad take, because a lot of work from home, it doesn't affect how you do your job. In fact, if you look, productivity has gone up because people have the freedom to take breaks when they can, and they don't feel constantly scrutinized by people that they work with. And it saves you a lot of time. I spent like an hour in commute, and that could have been an hour I spent editing and getting something out, right? So it's one of those things of like, yes, of course, I miss what the old offices kind of felt like, that sort of camaraderie. Yes, that is something that I miss. But a lot of companies work better remote because you are still able to be just as productive and you are able to communicate with people. It does suck that you don't maybe get to be as personal with your coworkers, but also your coworkers, it's fine, right? So, and also work from home allows a lot of people with disabilities to work just as well as anyone else who's able-bodied. So I feel like that's something that a lot of people don't take into consideration. Like, yeah, if you work from home, do some people get lazy? Sure. But the majority of it, if you look, productivity has gone up. So I feel like that's a very dated take. And I would definitely highly consider how others, maybe not as able-bodied as you, can use work from home, especially with people with families, right? They don't have to take time off to take care of their kids. They can do that in the middle of like, hey, I'm between meetings. Let me go see if my kid needs anything, or if I need to pick them up, if there's an emergency. Great. So
also that take is very like, don't just take in what upper management would tell you, because that feels very much like an upper manager. Like, oh, these people are just these workers who are the lifeblood of our company and make our company run are spoiled now. Yes, because corporations are definitely crazy. Not spoiled, and definitely don't fuck over workers at any point that they can. Think about it. Just think about it. Think about those perspectives a little bit.
Well, of course, we'll see if that pays off for EA, if that just blows up in their face as they lose a lot of talent. But let's move on to story number 7, our final story of the day, Stella. We've really slow played this. Great job.
We did. Chad, did you like our little foreplay? You like that? We got one more, so hope you keep enjoying it. Anyway,
I was going to give him a yam again. Well, save the yam for the end. A Riders Republic film is in the works from Bad Boys for Life director duo. This coming from Eric Van Allen at IGN. Ubisoft's extreme sports game, Riders Republic, is the latest in a long line of video games headed to the silver screen. The publisher announced today that the feature film's adaptation of 2021's Riders Republic is underway, and it already has a directorial duo seated behind the camera. In a press release, Ubisoft Film and Television announced it's partnering with Gaumont for the adaptation of Riders Republic. The director duo behind Bad Boys for Life and Bad Boys Ride or Die are already signed to direct. Not much has been said about the direction other than the adaptation is poised to be an electrifying action movie delivering nonstop thrills, humor, and spectacular stunts on the snowy slopes of the Alps. Stella, Riders Republic, the movie, gotta be there night one. How we feeling about this?
Yeah, can't miss blockbuster of the year. Am I right? I don't know about this one. I would rather take a movie of Conker's Bad Fur Day than a Riders Republic.
I like that.
Movie.
Okay. How about another Ubisoft movie? Maybe we help Ubisoft of like, hey, not all video games have to be greenlit as a movie. Maybe we get a little bit deeper into our IPs and we go, man, what else could we make? Far Cry, Assassin's Creed, maybe Prince of Persia.
We'll never make
Splinter
an actual
Cell.
Beyond Good and Evil game, so like maybe make it into a movie. Yeah.
We got a lot of other IPs than Riders Republic that we should be greenlighting as movies. Odd choice hearing this off the bat.
Yeah.
But I do think, Stella, as someone who loves extreme sports, as someone who loves a yearly Warren Miller film all about skiing and snowboarding, growing up on movies like Out Cold, Biker Boys, Fast and Furious, right? You think of like the latest idea of trying to bring back Point Break, right? Of course, Bad Boys is a lot of fun. How do you do that with extreme sports? Is that going to be kind of the goal? Is this maybe more of a Jackass, maybe a Travis Pastrana, MTV-like humor that they're going for? What is this really going to be? I don't know, but I did grow up on a lot of movies like this that I loved, and so I'll give it a maybe. I
feel like this would do better as a show format, like a game show format where you have people who are athletes. Or maybe, okay, so there are two ideas. You could do one where you actually have snowboarder athletes kind of attempt to do some of the things that people have done in the video game, or adapt these sort of, courses to like a Red Bull course, right? Like Red Bull loves extreme sports stuff. I feel like you could easily do that. But another idea is that you could have like casual people who say that they're like, very outdoorsy, and you could put them through this in kind of a like wipeout challenge, right? Kind of dumb down some of the tricks because some people might not be comfortable on bikes, on snowboards, whatever. I feel like that would be a way better format than a movie because I don't think there's a story to this. Like this game is so fun on its own, but as a movie, I'm like, what is there to tell?
Yes, Stella. Well, that's what it's going to be the difficult challenge of this. My pitch is go to YouTube, find some extreme sports kids who have a great YouTube channel. My friends over at the Sickos are great kids that would do this, right? Sign those kids to a Netflix 8 TV show deal and have them go visit extreme sports pros around the world and them doing different stunts with them, whether it be surfing, whether that be snowboarding and skiing, get them out on the snowmobile. But I don't know if a movie is the answer, but I say that the next Fast and Furious comes out, I'm going to go watch it, Stella. So this is clearly going to be for me when it happens. I'm sure I'm going to watch it.
Yeah.
Stella,
I mean, you know what? If anything, it might be something that you, it might be something that you enjoy after having a specific little, a green gummy. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yes, be wowed by all of it. That's right. I love that. Stella, the idea of a Riders Republic movie is massive. It's huge. But if I wanted something a little bit smaller, where would I go?
Well, first of all, you definitely wouldn't go to a podcast with me and Mike on it because we know that's the biggest and longest thing ever. But if you want something small, you would go to our last story, the Wii News channel, where we cover all the small news items you need to know about.
Hit the music. Stella, this coming from VGC. Cookie Clicker comes to console on May 22nd. The heck is Cookie Clicker, and why did Roger put that in Wii News? I don't know. Is this a game?
Is that actually? Is that real?
Is this a game that everybody loves? I've seen the chat say hell yes, so people are into this. Okay. Cookie Clicker coming to consoles May 22nd. Put it down. Today. Oh, here it is.
You just click on cookies, I think.
You click on cookies.
You just click on cookies,
yeah. Click on those cookies. I love that. Today, Sega and Atlus announced that Persona 5, The Phantom X, will be launching on PC and mobile on June 26, 2025. In this unique turn-based RPG set in the world of Persona 5, players will lead a double life as a student and phantom thief with a brand new protagonist and band of phantom thieves. Barrett, tell me.
Absolutely no interest in this.
Absolutely no interest.
This is I forget who the developer is on this. But it's like mobile game vibes. All of this is very much, we have Persona 5 at home, and we have Persona 5 at home on our phone, and I don't know, it feels like a big, there's always the joke of them milking each Persona game, right? Persona 4 getting a lot of spin-offs, Persona 5 getting even more spin-offs. I liked the Muso game, I liked the Tactics game. This one is where I'm like, all right, man, I'm tapped out. I love Persona 5, but I'm cool.
Okay. An officially licensed Like a Dragon virtual space is being created for Roblox.
Oh.
Stella, Roblox, what do you think? What do we think about this? It's officially licensed.
I mean, you can't deny the power of Roblox and Fortnite and Minecraft, right? So I think that's great. I think if that means that more, I feel like that's a lot of kids are on Roblox though. And I don't know if Like a Dragon is really for kids, but I mean, I think that's cool. Once they become of age, maybe it'll be a cool way to convert the Roblox players to Like a Dragon players, right? The Yakuza series. So that could be really cool. It could be smart on their end,
Honestly, I just think it's really cool that they're recreating Like a Dragon in Roblox. Man, I wish Japan was real.
Warner Bros. Games today announced DC Worlds Collide, a new free-to-play squad-based role-playing game for mobile devices where players can collect, upgrade, and unleash teams of their favorite superheroes and supervillains for villains in dynamic PvP and PvE battles. Starting today, players are invited to pre-register on the App Store, Google Play, and at the game's official website at DCWorldsCollideGame.com. Greg Miller put this in. He said, "I've already pre-registered, ladies and gentlemen." So he's very excited for anything DC.
Taste in games.
He loves DC. So go check it out and go have some fun with that. To end Wii News, one final one for you. Of course, the NFL is back with more NFL schedule announcement reveals, and the LA Chargers came out with a fun one in Minecraft. If you haven't seen it, they did a great job tag teaming up with Minecraft to do a really fun schedule reveal. I loved it. I thought it was cute. They had the Broncos, the Raiders, the Chiefs. Everybody had their own little Minecraft mansions and stuff. Always a fun time when we get video games and other properties all around the globe to have some fun together. That was very good. So great job out there. Stella? We got 10 minutes left on the show. Let's jump into some super chats. Let's chat it up with the community.
Let's do it.
We did a great job on this long, extended show. So here we go. Nightlife writes in and says, "Here's $2. This is for Stella's idea of Dune /Helldivers. Great job, Stella, on that great idea.
Hey, you're tallying up all the money that gets put towards me, right? So you guys can buy me.
I'll tell Greg Miller, put it right on there. It's right away.
He's not going to.
Well, actually, the way we convert it actually is $2. That's 2 high fives. So the next time you see Greg, he'll give you 2 high fives, and that'll be your payout.
Can I convert that to a slap? Like,
2 slaps.
Like 2 slaps to Greg's face.
Yeah, like 1, 2, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean.
Yeah.
I like that,
perfect.
Stella. I like that.
Thank you.
Let's keep going through it. CJ Splitson says, give us the Snowbike Mike movie we deserve. Ubisoft, back up the truck. I'll get back on the bike. We can go have some fun anytime you want it. Volo Dasher writes in and says, Stella, long time no see over here. Missing you around here. KF needs more of you. Wishing you all well in your life and at work. Oh.
Thank you.
Nice
so
to say hi to
sweet.
Stella. Stella,
That's so nice.
if everybody's happy to see you and they want more of you, where would they go, Stella?
Well, I'm trying to be better about my YouTube playthroughs and videos. So that would be youtube.com/ParallaxStella. I do stream almost every day. Not at the, well, I guess you guys are streaming every day, but like, if you guys ever need a little break from Kind of Funny or the guys, I'm live at twitch.tv/ParallaxStella. So, or you can have multi-stream up. Who knows?
There we go. Bring up 2 browser pages. Watch Stella and us. Go support Stella. Give her some love. Of course, she's out there on YouTube and on Twitch all the time, giving you cool stuff. Anything you're looking forward to, Stella? I love talking esports with you. I love when you do the Apex stuff. What is the next big esports event that you are interested in and that we should maybe be aware of, since we don't talk esports all that often here on the channel?
Well, the next few esports stuff that I'm specifically interested in aren't for a while, but let's see. Earlier this year, there was the Apex Legends Global Series Championship, which was in Japan. So hopefully, we're all hoping next year it'll also be in Japan again. So maybe around January time, hopefully we'll hopefully hear something more about that later this year. But we'll see. That's something that I would keep my eye on, because if you ever wanted an excuse to go to Japan.
Oh,
a good excuse,
That's great. I like pair it up with a nice little Apex championship right there. That's great.
Yeah.
Yang Fam writes in and says, needs more BB juice. Give me different flavors. Of course, don't be drinking the BB juice out of the incredible BB casket up in the front. Nick knows. That's what probably lost my voice. We put the little baby in the jar, and Roger made a special concoction. I drank it throughout the stream.
And what was that concoction made up of?
Oh, I'm not allowed to say it. I can't tell you what it is, but I can tell you some of it was Monster Energy and White Claw, but then there was a special base that really
is the special base illegal? Like what are we trying to
we got to save it for the next one, it's a whole thing.
It was a ShamWow that was squeezed out with all of Mike's sweat in it, wasn't it?
Yes.
Oh, I know. It was THC like water. I get it. Yeah. To get high off of that Kojima joint.
Oh,
no,
man.
because Mike partakes of THC, so if he sweats it out, then you get it infused into the sweat, and then it's like free electrolytes when you wring it out. It's like salt water that you get into it.
Why did you make getting high sound super gross?
Stella gets it. PAL region.
Because this company is full of boys, and I know it's sweaty and smelly in there.
Sweaty and smelly.
Sorry, go ahead.
PAL region plays, writes in and says, happy Thursday from Buckinghamshire, England. Hello, thank you for watching and listening and supporting. Melodic Quest writes in and says, Alien versus Predator versus Sora.
That would fuck.
You've stepped up to the line. You've crossed it.
Down.
Okay, you've crossed the line on Kingdom Hearts. But I do love that. That's a great idea for all the fun that you could have out there. Going up to the tippity top, Dolphin Corn writes in and says, love you, Mike. Dinner's on me tonight. Oh, well, thank you so much. I love a good In-N-Out dinner anytime, so take me there.
I was taking you to Chili's.
Oh, Chili's, a little date for two. The little triple dipples. I love the triple dipples.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Sort by a first name. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Says, hey, yo. And Icy Wiener writes in with a joke. Says, where has B-Hole been this week? I don't know.
You know who B-Hole is?
I don't know who B-Hole is. Who's B-Hole?
Who's B-Hole?
Oh, shit. It's either Blessing or Tim. I'm going to guess Blessing.
We do all have B-holes, so I don't know, you're not missing anything.
Icy Wiener can't write that in and then say, where's the B-hole been all week?
Checking for Blessing is B-hole. What's it?
Blessing is
It could be Barrett too, right?
No, I'm B-Rat.
Oh, be rad and be whole. Okay.
That's what my neighborhood friends used to call me back in the day.
I just saw Blessing walk in. He's been busy, of course, keeping a lookout on his Instagram stories. He's been around. He's been traveling. But I did see him walk back in here, so you will see him sometime today, I'm sure. Let's
throw
go.
Something at him.
Dose of Nostalgia writes in with a $10 super chat, says, I think the Riders Republic movie could work if animated in the TMNT style or Spider-Verse. Now you're cooking. Now you're thinking right there. I love that idea.
Okay. But you still need compelling characters that I would need to care about, and I don't.
Well,
but that style is pretty, so
what if we just take RR, change it to RP, make it rocket power, sell it. Rocket power, y'all. There we go. Everybody
$1 million idea.
Change one letter. We got it.
Also, I got it wrong. Blessing is B-hole. Greg is G-spot.
Sorry.
Jesus. Demon Hacker writes in and says, Does Rose goo from Resident Evil 8 taste better than the BB juice? Oh, I see where you're going with that. The Rose goo. That's great right there. Stella, do you think we'll see the next Resident Evil this summer? When is the next Resident Evil going to be shown to me? I'm excited. I want more of it. I want to see what kind of wild ideas they have in the horror space, what will get me going. I think back of Resident Evil 8. I think of the dollhouse sequence and how much fun I had with that. When is the next Resident Evil 8? Is it time this summer?
Let's see. Resident Evil 4 remake came out 2 years ago. I would say maybe it would be about time to see a reveal, at least. Like, maybe not a release date, but a reveal. I think that would be smart, just because I feel like Resident Evil has been just dominating in the horror space, at least, especially with like the casual community too. So hopefully we see something. Hopefully see a little teaser.
I hope so. I would love that. Let's end the show with You're Wrong. Of course, you can keep us honest every time you're watching the show by writing in to You're Wrong to make sure we don't get anything wrong. We have 2 write-ins. Colux writes in and says, while Lilo and Stitch was a world in Kingdom Hearts birthed by sleep, the world itself only took place in space on the Galactic Council spaceship in the beginning of the first movie. So maybe they could explore a little bit more of the world and have some fun.
Take us to Hawaii, man.
And then not Barrett wrote in and says, for Barrett, since he couldn't recall, the developer of the P5 mobile game is Blackwing's game studio based in China, Atlas only supervised. So just telling you what the developer is.
Again, a big, we got Persona 5 at home. And you know what? I've played Persona 5, actual Persona 5, plenty of times. I don't need the mobile thing.
He's got plenty. Stella, you play Persona 5?
No, but I might try Persona. It wasn't usually my kind of game, but after I played Expedition 33, I was like, okay, I guess
honestly,
fuck with this. So.
My recommendation would not be Persona for you, Stella. It would be Metaphor Fantasio.
You know what? You're not the Michael Hyam also told me that, just because I kind of fuck with like the real-time combat thing, and I don't know if Persona would be something. I don't know. I hear the story of Metaphor is very good.
Yeah, I think you, like, knowing you, I think you'd be into that world and those characters a bit more. The kind of gameplay is definitely going to be a different vibe, a different tone shift. But I think Claire could be a good like entry point into getting you into more of like the typical Atlas type of stuff. But yeah, if both Chaim and I are recommending you Metaphor, you know what's up. You know what's up.
You know what's up. And you know what else is up?
Hate to see
this. Kind of Funny Games Daily, because each and every weekday we run you through the nerdy news you need to know about live on YouTube, Twitch, and of course on podcast services around the globe. If you love what we do, consider supporting us with the Kind of Funny membership available on Patreon and on YouTube to get all of our shows ad-free and watch us record them live and get your daily exclusive show. Enjoy the Gamescast next, and of course the stream after that, plus Kind of Funny podcast today. You get a full slate of live talk shows. Until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.
Oh,